Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am so excited that you are all able to be here for our Millionaires in Training. I'm so excited. Rachel is so awesome and dynamic, so I can't wait to hear her. If you were not with us in January for our Securing the Bag 2020 workshop, she was definitely one of our workshop leaders, and she brought it down, gave us so many things to think about, so many things to do tangibly to help us get on track with our finances, our budgeting, thinking about the future and our planning, and so much more. So I can't wait for you guys to get into this workshop with us today. Just some norms that we are going to make use of. Please mute your mics. We are going to make heavy use of the chat box today. We want to hear from you. If you could type any questions, comments, thoughts that you have in the chat box, and we will get back to you. But keep your mics muted just so that we can avoid any background noise, any distractions. We know you're at home with your kids and your family. You might even want to grab something to eat. So we just ask you to keep your mics on mute for now. But cameras are definitely welcome. We love seeing your faces. We love seeing who's in the room. So feel free to turn on your camera. But if you want to relax, we understand it's 7 o'clock at night on a Thursday. Feel free to make yourself comfortable however you choose to. And with that being said, I'm just going to invite in a few more people. We are here as members and representatives of the Center for Economic Empowerment at LoveZion. And the Center for Economic Empowerment at LoveZion Incorporated was newly founded in about 2019, really aimed to provide training and resources for long-term economic freedom and empowerment for the residents of North Philly and beyond. There's a lot of our board members who are on now, and even our pastor, who is the director and of our board, actually just came on. So I'll allow him some time if you want, Pastor, to chime in about, who we are and what our mission and aim is.
Welcome. We're so glad to have everyone with us now. Certainly this has been a turbulent week, a 2-week stretch, maybe the most turbulent of our lives, in fact. But there are still principles that are necessary in all seasons, and the principles of financial and economic health certainly still apply. And even before the unrest of the last week or two, we've already had significant economic difficulties because of COVID-19, and some of those continue. So it is imperative now that we can continue to empower each other, to empower our people, to empower our communities, to make sure that we're prepared to be financially healthy and financially sound as we go through this pandemic, however long it lasts, and whenever we can come out of this, whatever the new normal is. So we're glad you're here today. We hope you're helped and blessed by this content. Thank you so much to our presenter. I know she did a phenomenal job earlier this year when we had our in-person conference, the Secure the Bag conference, and we're grateful now to be continuing with these virtual seminars until we can come back together for another in-person conference. So thank you, and enjoy, everybody. I'm not going to take any more time, but just wanted to say welcome to everyone.
Thank you, Pastor. So Rachael Hanible is a personal finance coach and author of Amber's Magical Savings Box, which is an Amazon bestseller and has a perfect 5-star rating, which is amazing. She just completed a Barnes & Noble tour selling out multiple locations of her book. It's also available in Walmart. After becoming completely debt-free, saving a year's worth of her income and reaching a credit score of over 800, amen, she decided to share tools and tips to help others do the same. Rachel has helped many people achieve their short-term and long-term financial goals that include saving for a home, paying off student loans, and saving an emergency fund. She currently travels to school and now even continues to do workshops online for students as she continues to run her Millionaire in Training classes for teens and adults, as well as Amber's Magical Saving Box classes for kids under the age of 10. It is her mission to give the next generation of millionaires a head start on the road to financial freedom. And I don't know about you guys, but every time I read this, I'm like, this is awesome and amazing. So I'm going to step out of the way so that you guys can get all this information that she has for you. So without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to our speaker, Rachael Hanible.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for having me my second time with you all this year. And I enjoyed my first time, and I know we're going to have a great time tonight. So I'm really excited. But I will say this is not going to be your regular average webinar. I'm pretty sure a lot of us are zoomed out. And so this is going to be what I like to call a meeting at the dinner table. I would like to have a meeting with my people at the dinner table. I want you to get to know me, and I want to get to know you. So I want everyone in the chat to tell me what's for dinner. Tell me what's for dinner. And while you're telling me what's for dinner, tell me on the scale of 1 to 10 how you're feeling about your finances right now. Like, how are you feeling? 10 being, child, I don't even know why I'm here. I'm only here because y'all needed extra people on it, you know? But 1 being, coach, I don't know how I got here or how I'm getting out. So be honest with yourself. And let me know how you're feeling. Let me know what's for dinner, and a scale of 1 to 10, how you're feeling about your finances. You said you couldn't purchase my book online. Which website did you go to? Did you get want to get an autographed one from my website, RachelHannible.com? I'm gonna type my site in the chat, RachelHannible.com. You can order the book there if you want it to be autographed, and I'll send it to you. A 7, okay, 7 is good. All right, I hear mac and cheese. I see 4s. You had a sandwich. Spaghetti and meatballs. That was gonna be my plan for this week. Deacon Nelson, why are you being private? You didn't send that to everybody. You only sent it to me. What kind of salad did you have for dinner? All right, okay, fried chicken. All right, y'all sounding good. All right, now y'all doing the most now. Okay, that's just a regular old Thursday. I thought y'all was just gonna say some ham sandwiches or something. Okay, spaghetti. I got 2 spaghettis. Ice cream, Drina. We friends. Okay, ice cream. That's me. I had ice cream earlier. All right. So I am going to share my screen just for a few things in the beginning, but but after that, I just want us to talk. I want us to have a conversation. But I see those numbers coming in. Turkey meatballs. All right. We got 22 people in here. It said I can't share my screen, sweetheart. Hey, we got some new people coming. Hey, somebody said fried chicken and salad. I'm gonna have to send y'all my address because y'all I got it, honey. Thank you. Y'all making me sound good. So we already went through all of this. My company is called Missing Peace Financial Group. And Missing Peace is my intention to help my people find peace on the journey towards financial freedom. I feel like often we feel like financial peace is like this far away, unrealistic goal that we will never be able to get towards. And I would like for us all to just find those little nuggets of peace, to sleep better at night, every night, to feel better when we are shopping every time, to feel better when about our children's future every day. And so some of the things we're going to talk about today is just, again, find those small little nuggets of peace on our journey towards financial freedom. But yes, Amber's Magical Savings Box, all that stuff, we already went through this. So I'm gonna go past this side. So we mentioned earlier me becoming completely debt free. I recently did a total. I paid off over $91,000 of debt. And my credit score is now 840. And I saved up a year's worth of income in cash. It's important for me to always say that I did this literally $1 at a time, one coupon at a time, one baby step at a time. God has not answered the prayer to drop a lump sum of money on me yet, but he still has time. He still has time. Okay. But I am from North Philadelphia, which I know that LoveZion has started. They're serving in North Philadelphia. They're doing an amazing job there. And, you know, around there's low income and high stress and high crime. And so I think my business has been successful all these years because I can relate to just the everyday struggle of wanting to dig yourself out of a financial hole and becoming completely debt free, including my student loans, included my credit card debt and my brand new car at that time. And so tonight I'm offering what I call the perfect marriage between information and inspiration. Because I really want to change your heart and change your thoughts and then change your relationship with money. Because I believe if you change your mind, you change your life. So this is just the final information as far as Amber's Magical Savings Box. It is an interactive children's book and it teaches kids about earning and saving money. It is for ages 3 to 10, but it is not a book that you just pick up and put down. It's like a nighttime story. No. Many studies have shown that our financial habits are formed by the age of 7. So whether we have a really good relationship with money or bad triggers with money, oftentimes that comes before the age of 7, which was very scary to me when I found that out. And so this is why we have Amber's Magical Savings Box. So I know I already typed my website in the chat if you wanted to get a signed copy shipped for your Millionaire in Training directly. But if you don't care to have a signature, you can get it from Amazon and Barnes & Noble and Walmart and Target and all those other places. Now that we got that out the way, now it's time to talk. Now it's meeting time. Okay. So once this pandemic is over, there will be some people who will make it out on top, mostly because they will be standing on the backs of the people who are now on the bottom because they lost a lot of things they worked hard for. And we need to talk about making sure you are not on the bottom and how you can protect yourself, how you can protect what you have already, what you've worked for already, but also work towards getting the better to come out on top after this is over. So this is not in no particular order, but one of the things I need everyone on here to do, if they have not done it recently, is to pull your full credit report. Pull your full credit report, myannualcreditreport.com. So part of the CARES Act is that we were able to now be able to pull our full reports every week until next April. And this is big because previously we could only pull our credit report once a year without it hurting us. And the reason why they made that change is because they knew that identity theft would be at an all-time high during this time and even afterwards. And so we need to make sure that we are protecting ourselves and that we know what's on our report. So when you pull your report, I always say, try not to do it on your phone, like do it on a gadget where you can save it, where you can email it to yourself, create a folder, because I need you to save it for at least a year. Okay. Have a screenshot, a snapshot of where your credit report, what was on your report before everything got crazy, because we're kind of still in the beginning stages when it comes to the financial portion of this. It is estimated that the economic portion of this will claim just as many lives as the actual virus itself. And so we talk about 2008 when we had that recession, over 10,000 people committed suicide that they knew was directly related to that recession, and they're projecting that it's going to be more. Because again, some people are going to lose everything they worked hard for. And some people are never going to be able to go back to the jobs that they were at before. And so it's going to be difficult as the free money runs out and the the grace periods begin to run out and all those things become to be due all at the same time, it's really going to set in, and it's going to cause us to have a little bit more troubles in the future. So you want to make sure that those people who are struggling, who are desperate, who are looking for a hand up, won't be able to take advantage of you. And so after you pull your credit report, you want to lock your credit profile. Okay, and you can do this for yourself, and you can also do this for your minor children. So you can lock, some websites will say freeze, but lock and freeze is the same thing. If you are not considering opening up any new accounts, or going for any type of loans or anything like that, in the near future, you want to lock away your credit profile. And what that looks like is, if someone wants to go and get something in your name, basically the people, the creditors or the banks or the companies won't be able to pull up a profile. So it's very less likely that they will allow them to open that account or whatever it is they're trying to do. So it's a great way to protect you, and often it comes with credit monitoring as well. So you can do that with each one of the credit bureaus. So you can go to Equifax.com, you can go to Experian.com, and you can go to TransUnion.com. Some of them have different qualifications as far as freezing the profile of a minor. They may ask you for different information, but that's definitely something you want to do, because especially right after tax time, identity theft for minors is really high. Because, people are claiming their kids and all that type of stuff. And often the parents don't find out about it until they're 18 or they're old enough, and when they really go try to apply for something, you're like, oh, somebody, got something in my name when I was 5. Or whatever, or when I was 8 or whatever. I know that we had a few cases where people were taking their children to the hospital to be tested or treated and using other people's kids' names and getting treated. And I was like, oh, y'all got a lot going on. So you want to lock your profile. You want to go to each one of those credit bureaus. And it's normally just a few minutes that it takes to do it, but you normally have to give them a PIN code, or they give you a PIN code that you have to remember. So as soon as you go to, oh, I do want to buy a car now this time next year, or I do want to buy a home, you can just, call them up or just do the chat and say, listen, I want to unlock my credit profile, and you give them the PIN code and you're set. Okay. Easy, but it can save you thousands of dollars. I'm telling you, you want to protect what you have already, because there's always someone who wants to trade places with you. Okay. Let me tell y'all something. I'm a pastor's kid, so I'm watching the chat because I'm used to amens every day. I'm watching all y'all going across my screen laughing at the time. Okay. So the next thing you want to do is you want to create an emergency budget. So all the clients who come to me, sometimes I do this without them knowing, but I create an emergency budget for them. Like I, go through their little numbers, and I'm like, she can do without this, he can do without that, he can do without that. If anything ever happens and they have to go down to the bare bones, just essentials only, I kind of got this little calculation already ready. And so I'm glad I've been doing that for maybe like a little over a year now. I've been secretly doing that for my clients, right? And when all this stuff hit, I got so many calls and emails from my clients saying I got laid off, coach, or my husband got fired, or whatever, and unemployment, it's been 2 months, I haven't seen anything. Like I've been receiving all these calls and things like that. And I'm like, well, guess what? I have an emergency budget already set up for you. And you're going to be all right. If you cut down this, you're going to be okay. So I want you all to create an emergency budget. Bare bones, essentials only. And if you are in a 2-income household, I would say create a budget both ways, like if one or the other would experience any loss of income, just to make sure that you guys will be all right at the absolute worst case scenario. Again, this is part of finding the peace. Okay, just like, the whole idea of preparing for the worst and praying for the best. You want to make sure that you just have a plan in place, because again, having an umbrella and it never rains is much better than it pouring and you got nothing. Right? So get that emergency budget together, get together and figure out like what is, what are our needs versus our wants. Put them in categories and be realistic about it. All right. I see those amens. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. I feel that love. I feel those amens. All right. So once you do that, you want to write down your short-term and your long-term financial goals. Okay. Oh wait, somebody's waiting. Now I gotta, okay. I gotta, y'all coming in, y'all flooding. I feel that. Okay. So you want to write down your short-term and your long-term financial goals. Now, when I say short-term, I'm thinking the next 6 months. How do you want to end 2020 off with a bang? And then, long-term is a year plus. Don't be afraid to think as far ahead as you want to think. I already have 40-year-old goals, 45-year-old goals. I already know what I want my net worth to be. I already have all of that all in my mind, all written down. I have it in my mind and written down. So don't be afraid to dream big. And I'm going to tell you this. I think one of my biggest issues that I've had throughout my journey of coaching my people is that we have been afraid to dream big when it comes to financial freedom. And because for some reason, somebody somewhere told us that financial freedom was not for us. And that's going to end today. That's going to end today. I don't know who lied to you, but Jesus don't want us to be broke. So listen, dream as big as you want to dream, but I want you to be specific, especially when you're talking about your short-term goals. Be specific. I feel like I see those amens. I feel like we all know we should drink more water. We all know we should work out more. We all know we should be more organized, but without being specific, there's no accountability there. So when you're writing down those goals, how much do you want to pay off in debt? Give me a dollar amount. How much of emergency money do you want to have saved up by the end of the year? How much do you want to have saved for a car or whatever it is that you are working towards? You want to upgrade your kitchen next year, whatever it is you want to do. Give it a number. Give it a target. All right? Be specific. Okay? And then just dream big. Imagine yourself without debt. When I was getting out of debt, let me tell you, there was one lady that I really look up to, and she was like, child, you might as well enjoy your 20s because you gonna always have debt. I don't know nobody who don't have no debt. You might as well just enjoy it. We all gonna die with student loan debt. I was like, not I. Okay, no ma'am, not I. And so I know on your journey towards financial freedom, you are going to have naysayers. You are going to have people who have not seen the vision, who don't think it's possible, who have been filled with doubt themselves. Therefore, that's all they have to give out. But no ma'am, no sir. All right? No ma'am, no sir. I want everybody do that clap. No ma'am, no sir. I saw that. Thank you. So I also want to, before I forget, we have Finance Friday parties on my social media pages, on Instagram and on Facebook. And so if you're on Instagram, follow me. I am Pep Talks _ Thank you, Jessica. I'm Pep Talks _ on Instagram, and I am just Rachael Hanible on Facebook. If you are not, follow me on Instagram, or if you please send me a friend request, because Finance Friday is tomorrow, and I've been doing it for over a year, every Friday, giving out 10 finance tips that everyday people can do to get them one step closer every day to their dreams and goals. And that's something else we're going to talk about. Once you get these goals laid out, you want to chop them down into what I call little bite-sized goals, little doable goals. Okay. So you got to put the @ sign. You put that's my Cash App. So what can I do every month? How much can I save every month? How much can I save every week? What can I do every day? So break down those goals into little bite-sized goals, because what you don't want to be is overwhelmed. Often we look at the big number and it's just too overwhelming and we end up doing nothing. because it'd be like, we tired already, just writing all them zeros, right? We're tired just pulling the credit report. We're tired just looking at the number, all right? Chop them down into smaller bite-sized goals. So I'll give you an example. I broke all my goals down when I first was on my journey towards financial freedom. I was making $30,000 a year, $35,000 a year. Nothing. So, and I was like, student loan debt, brand new car, all types of stuff. And my insurance was just as much in my car note. Different conversation. Ridiculous. So I had to be disciplined to break it down even to a daily spending limit. I had a weekly allowance amount, and I had a daily spending limit, and I had to start that strict in the beginning because I was on a new path. I was like afraid that if I don't give myself the strict rules that I'm not going to be able to stick with it. And so it brought me peace to be able to lay my head at night and know that I didn't go over my limit today. I have $3 extra for tomorrow. I rolled over $4 from today to tomorrow. Those kinds of things. And now I kind of like do it without even thinking, because now it's become a habit. So it sounds silly, and in the beginning it felt silly, but I promise you I would not have become completely debt free if I didn't do that, and I wouldn't have been comforted in the process of doing that too, or encouraged in the process of doing that too, which is big, because having a great idea is great, but if you don't have that motivation, if you don't have that encouragement, where you're seeing results, where you're seeing that it's working, you're probably not going to stick to it. Okay, so break it down as much as you want to break it down, but definitely need to break it down. If anyone does not have an emergency fund, that needs to be the first thing on your list. Number one thing on your list is to have an emergency fund. Okay, and the goal is $1,000, at least $1,000 saved. Okay, and then we build on that. Now you don't have to go extreme like me and have a year's worth of income saved. You ain't got to do that. But again, the peace that comes from knowing you're not just one check engine light away from losing it all. The peace that comes from knowing if your kid has an emergency or someone has an emergency, that you are going to be okay. And that is where I need you all to put all of your energy right now. If you don't have an emergency fund, I need you to put all of your energy, every single dollar, into getting an emergency fund. And what can you do every day to get you there? Okay, I talked about $1 at a time. $91,000 sounds overwhelming, but I promise you it was $1, $5, $10 at a time. Okay, so small things add up. Okay, I want everyone to raise your hand and give me something in the chat if you're using Credit Karma. Now I'm gonna be quiet. Now, for some people who was in our class in January, you probably got a little cheat sheet for where I'm going with this. Okay. All right. Thank you for your honesty. Is it nope? See, you people who know me, y'all cheating. Those who have I've been their coach for a little while, y'all cheating. We got 27 people in here. I love this. Okay, so the reason why I asked is because Credit Karma is not accurate. Normally I'm in these big classes and there's like 100 people, and I'm like, raise your hand if you're using Credit Karma, if you have Credit Karma. And they're like, me, coach, me, because they think that I want them to say that. And then I'm like, okay, now everybody delete it. Because they give you a Vantage score, which is not your actual FICO score. So about 90% of the lenders and the creditors that you're going to go to are going to use a FICO score. They're going to pull your FICO score. So it can be almost a 40-point difference between your Vantage score and your FICO score. And I know I've had a conversation with one of my clients, and she like called me freaking out at the car dealership Coach, I checked my score before I got here. And then they checked it and they said, it's this, and that. And I was real calm and cool. And I said, didn't I tell you to stop using Credit Karma? So you want to make sure that even if you're getting a score from your credit card companies, I know some people, their credit card companies give them a score, their banks give them a score, and you may be receiving scores from various places. Make sure it's a FICO score. Make sure it's a FICO score, okay? Because it's more, that's what they're going to see. That's what your lenders and your creditors and people are going to see. So you want to see what they say. Okay. All right. So you want to calculate your take-home pay. You want to calculate your take-home pay. And it sounds very simple, but you'll be surprised how many people, I've been doing this 5 years, you'll be surprised how many people have not taken the time to really calculate their actual take-home pay. And, oh, my employer says they pay me $65,000 a year, and you're really living off $65,000 a year. My love is really more like 47. I don't want to be the person to tell you this, but so when I say act your wage, we talk about what you're getting for real, right? Calculate what your real take-home pay is, and you want to set a goal to live off of 70% of that. Like, you really don't want to be living off of your whole paycheck. You don't want to have all your income being outgone, right? And so I'm telling you, I coach people who make a whole lot of money. And when I tell you they ain't got nothing, they spend every dollar that they get. I'm like, this is a misunderstanding, because I don't understand it. Don't be like them, don't be like them. So until we can get you to the next level, of which we will, until we can get you, we'll talk about that next, how you can give yourself a raise in various ways. But we want to make sure we're being realistic about what's coming in, and realistic about how we can do the most with what we have coming in. Okay, so take the time to do that. Calculate your take-home pay and set a goal to aim to live off of 70% of that. Is that all right, guys?
Mm-hmm. Rachel, there was a question that asked, does checking the FICO score hurt your credit score at all?
No. Nope. Now, that leads me to, if you don't want to have more than 5 inquiries, hard inquiries on your score at a time. So those hard inquiries are going to be, of course, like loans, or some store cards that you're going to get, or various things like that. Those bank cards and things like that. Those hard inquiries are going to stay on there for 2 years. So you checking it over and over again is not doing anything. But if you keep going to this place, that place, this place, that place, and applying, and they're turning you down, or whatever it is they're doing, those hard inquiries piling up can hurt you. All right. I think I see another question. Oh, and I received the email from one of my credit cards that said I had to purchase or they could close it. So you don't really want them to close your credit cards, because that helps with your score. The more credit that's available to you and the longer history that you have, especially your oldest card, you definitely don't want to let them close, or you close your oldest card, because that's going to hurt you. Okay. So for some of my clients, we literally just like get gas once every 2 months or something like that with the card, just to make sure that there is recent activity on there and they're not closing it out. So if you get that, first of all, it was nice of them to send you an email, because they don't always send those warnings. They be like, and cut. And cut. So that was nice for you to get a little warning. But something I do want everyone on here to do is to make sure your limits didn't change because of this pandemic. So a lot of people, their limits went down. Because the banks are afraid of, people overspending, and they know people are going to go out and be using these cards for whatever they, need it for. And they're afraid that you're not gonna be able to pay it back. And so they've been pulling down and decreasing a lot of people's limits without them even knowing. No email, no nothing. And what's happening is that a lot of people are going and using those cards, assuming that the limit was whatever it's always been. And it's hurting them because now they're spending more than 30% of the limit. So just take a little moment as you're logging in your credit card accounts. Just make sure that your limit is the same and it hasn't changed, because they've been silently doing that for millions of people. And so you want to make sure that you are not in that group of people. You want to schedule a daily millionaire money moment. Now, for some of my clients, we even have a little alert that goes off on the phone. It's like, this is a time to check your temperature here. Okay, it's time for your daily money moment. We should have like some music like doo-doo-doo, like come on down, you're in the hot seat. But the daily money moment, it's different from day to day. I still do it. So some days it can be looking for different bargains. Other days it can be making a list of or shopping around your grocery list to see what's on sale or shopping based on the sale. Another day it can be ordering a finance book online. I mean, on Fridays it can be with the finance parties, we have on my social media pages. Reviewing your budget. So there are various things that you can do, just again, small steps that everyday people can do to make sure that you are shifting your mindset, right? Opening up your heart and making sure you're on the right track. Now, you can schedule your money moment whenever you want to do it. It can be at night after you and your husband are going to be, you're settled and you're comfortable and y'all have your tea, y'all have 8 o'clock tea time, whatever it is. Listen, let's have our money moment. How much did we spend today? What's our goal for this weekend? What's the budget? What's going on? How are we doing? All those things. Okay, so schedule a millionaire money moment every day. Okay, small steps, but they're going to make a big difference. Also, schedule money conversations with your family. It is very, very important. I think that's one of the things that's holding us back, is that we don't have safe environments to talk about money. And we need to change that. We need to change that for our children. We need to change that for our family members. And we need to change that in our community, in our churches. I love it. Every time a church reaches out to me to say we need to do a finance seminar. These are the kinds of conversations that we need to have. We need to have these conversations. We have studies that show, doctors say that 80% of the patients who come in there complain about stressing from money issues. We need to talk about this stuff. We need to talk. So gather children around, whatever you got to do. Like, we having our dinner money moment right now. I know one of my social media followers, I've never met her before, but she reached out to me and she said that her and her family, they have a weekly tradition. Every Sunday, they sit down at their table and they read off my finance tips from Friday. Her husband, her teenage son, and her daughter, and they decide how they're going to put these tips into play. And they've been doing this every Sunday. Now, I'm at somebody's dinner table, I ain't even know. But, I mean, they send me a plate. You know what I'm saying? Y'all gonna send me a plate. But I'll get on her later. So, no plate, no date. But when she said that, I was like, that is an amazing idea. Because that's what I've been trying to do. I've been trying to open it up where people are feeling more comfortable with being vulnerable and open about their money. Because how are we ever going to help each other and support each other and be accountable to each other if we don't feel comfortable with sharing these things? Okay? So we're getting almost to the end. I want you to make 2 lists. No, this is the workshop, okay? I want you to make 2 lists. 5 ways you can make money. Even if it's a small amount, even if it's $5, $10, $20, 5 ways you can make money. And then I want you to make another list of 5 ways you can cut down on spending. Okay? Because we're going to give ourselves a raise. All right? 5 ways you can make money, even if it's small amounts, and 5 ways you can cut down on spending, again, even if it's small amounts. Now, I used to have a thing with Dunkin' Donuts hot chocolate, and then I found out that they made the K-Cups to the Dunkin' Donuts hot chocolate. So instead of me going there every day, I just got the little K-Cups themselves, like a 6-pack, an 8-pack, or whatever. I was like, boom, 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 save some money. Aha. So again, it sounds small, but it got me to be debt free. So think about those things. Take some time. Go around your daily routine. Go think about your gifts and your talents. Think about the things everyone comes to you for. You can be charging for that, my love. You can be charging for that, baby. Because somebody somewhere getting paid for something you doing for free. You probably did at least three things for free today that somebody somewhere got paid to do the exact same thing. And they probably are not as good as you. So I go on my classes and I tell them, raise your hand if you can make a burger better than McDonald's. And of course, all the hands go up because everybody is chef, right? So, and I was like, oh, that's funny because McDonald's got more money than everybody in here. So explain to me how you can make a better burger than them. Okay. All right. So another list, again, workshop. Another list, I want you to make a list of things that bring you joy under $20. This is huge because it offers a gratitude check. I think that we often overlook the blessings that God has given us every day, that just the small things. Every time I do this with my clients, there's always a long list of things that are completely free. Completely free. Oh, I call my cousin. Oh, I call this person. I'll go to this person's house. I know at this person's house, I'll always be able to get a hug or a hot meal or a joke or a laugh or something. I know this thing will bring me joy. What happens is when we're having those emotional moments, because I feel like we're all emotional spenders in some way, shape, or form. Some kind of emotion makes you spend, whether it's fear, guilt, low self-esteem, broken heart, confusion, whatever it is, low self-worth, some type of emotion makes you spend. This way, instead of reaching for the retail therapy, instead of spending and spinning our wheels, right? Because we're kind of never getting out of this mud if we're doing that, right? We say, you know what? I have this list on my phone of things that bring me joy that are less than $20. Now, if you're like me, you might have Chick-fil-A frosted lemonade on the list. Nothing like it, but nothing like it. I just said I'm gonna put it into practice, plan to figure out how to make that at home. There ain't nothing but ice cream and lemonade, so I'm gonna figure this out. But you know, there's some things on there that's gonna be $2, $5, $10. But what happens is when we have these low moments and we are looking for something to fill the void, our brains don't know the difference between a $3 fix and a $300 fix. There's been so many studies that prove that your brain doesn't know the difference. So we think that when we go in the mall, the more we spend, the better we'll feel, If our bags, if we have 10 bags, if we have 1 bag, we gotta more, because we're filling this void and it feels so deep and we're emotional and we're sad and we're whatever it is, right? And we're psyching ourselves out. If anything, we're actually doing more damage when we spend more money because now we have that guilt that comes there after it, right? So we have this cycle. We have low self-worth, which leads to spending, which leads to guilt, which leads to low self-worth, which leads to more spending. And this is what we're doing. This is what we're doing. Okay, so my intention has been to pull out, like to interrupt that pattern, pull out something on there and to keep you from doing that. All right, so I mentioned earlier that I want us all to create a weekly allowance amount. Create a weekly allowance amount. Your allowance amount should include food, transportation, and a treat for yourself. What, coach, you said I can treat myself? Yeah, girl. You have to. It's the only way you're gonna stay there. Now the treat, I never dictate how much the treat should be. For me, the treat was just like $20, $25 a week. You know, I knew that if I rolled it over from 1 week to the next, I probably can, you know, get a shoe or two. No, well, just one shoe. Or I could, you know, order something off Amazon or something, but it was just something to say like, you're on the right track. You're on the right track. Fill up our cup. Fill up your cup. You don't want to be leaking from the bottom. You don't want to be leaking from the bottom. Y'all got that? We think that because when we talk about the cup overflowing, it got to be full first in order to overflow to those around us. We assume that because the people around us are getting blessed and happy and cool, that we overflowing. No, boo boo, you leaking from the bottom. They getting theirs from this away. So when we talk about looking at our budget, we are sealing up all those holes. We are sealing up all those leaks. We are digging up those things our parents told us, those things our teacher told us when we were young, and we wouldn't do this, or we can't do that, or whatever. We digging all that up. We doing like this, we doing like this, and we sealing it all up because this is a new day. All right? That's why I didn't put my screen up, because I need y'all to see me. I feel like this is meeting here. This is dinner. I want you to know that I care. I want you to know we are a family. I mentioned that earlier. And it's deeper. It's deeper than some numbers on a board. Mm-hmm. It's a heart. It's your heart. It's your mind, and it's your intention. We got that? All right. We're getting ready to seal up. Pull up any questions you have. I do want to mention one thing. We all should have a Roth IRA account. And for those who don't know the difference, I'm going to explain. Most of us probably have a traditional 401k, 403b, or SEP IRA or anything like that. And it's pre-taxed. But we also need to have a Roth IRA account because you pay the taxes now and don't have to worry about the taxes later. So with that, it's more like what you see is what you get. Right? Whereas with the traditional, what you see is kind of not what you get because you're not factoring in the taxes you're going to have to pay when that time comes. Now, if you know, like me, taxes is going to be sky high in the future, okay? I mean, it's just a little secret. I mean, it's going to go up. So you might as well go ahead and pay the taxes now while it's what it is. I mean, we don't like it now either, but hey, pay it now. So you don't have to worry about it eating up at all of your retirement income later. Now, you don't have to switch. You can have the best of both worlds. You can have a regular traditional IRA where you do pre-tax, that's cool. And then you can have your own Roth IRA that you can open up on your own, with your own bank, with your own credit union. I like Fidelity. I have my Roth IRA with them. But you can pick who you want. But I was just kind of talking it through to see if anybody had any questions. Did you all enjoy this time we had to get the...
Rachel, there was one question that kind of scooped under, and someone asked, how often should you treat yourself?
So the weekly allowance amount offers, it's not how often is more so an amount. Mm-hmm. So you can come up with an amount that's comfortable for you. So let's say I did $25, but some weeks I might have spread that out to be 3 frosted lemonades, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. You know, from week to week it changes, but I think it would be better to give like a set amount in the budget for what your cap would be on for your treat that you're going to put aside just for that. Thank you for that question. And someone said, how much does it cost to open up a Roth IRA account? It's free. It's free, and there's no minimums on there, but I definitely suggest that you set up an automatic transfer as soon as you open it up. So a lot of my clients, we do like the $1 a day. And if you were at the Secure the Bag Finance in January, we went through the $1 a day and how that adds up over time if it's invested. And so a lot of my clients, when we open up the Roth IRA, we set up an automatic transfer that's at least $1 a day. So some of my clients do $15 every 2 weeks that automatically comes out of their checking account into the Roth IRA, or they do, $30 at the end of the month, whatever is comfortable for you. But I say you should at least do $1 a day and let it, let it sit there and grow. I don't have any credit cards, just some small things in my credit report. Just living cost is really killing my finances. Well, we would need to go to your second to last step of those list of things that you can do to increase your money, and the list of things that you can do to decrease your expenses. And because ultimately you want a gap between how much you're making and how much you're putting out, because I think I put this in my tip two weeks ago. Your goal is to actually be wealthy and not rich, because there's a lot of rich people who are not wealthy. So we talk about Michael Jackson dying with millions of dollars of debt. Now, why my man got debt? I mean, I don't understand. Like, he should know anybody. Like, but you want to think about your net worth. You want to think about your net worth. You want to be worth more alive than you are dead. And it's added up. There are a lot of people who are worth more dead than they are alive, and you don't want to be that. All right. So, and that's robbing you of your peace, I'm sure, honey. So you gotta grab that peace whenever you can. Any other questions? Did you guys enjoy this webinar? I'm going to put my information in the chat one more time. I'm going to put my website and my Instagram as we prepare for Finance Friday tomorrow. What my Facebook is, just my name, first and last name. If you want to request a one-on-one session with me, I do have plans. It's a one-time plan, or you can do like the 3-month or the 6-month for the accountability. All the information is on my website as well. I also do family group sessions like how we do here. I know some people get 7 of their family members, and we have a webinar just like this, and we all get on here and we create a safe space to support each other as we go on to our financial dreams and goals. So if you have a family, if you want to host a virtual webinar finance party for your family, you can definitely send that information to my website as well. But again, anyone needs a one-on-one, you can shoot them to my website also. Oh, thank you. I'm glad y'all enjoyed it.
Awesome. So are there any other questions? I don't see any other questions. I see a lot of thank yous, and I'm just going to amplify that for everyone and be that voice for everyone. Thank you so much for all of those useful tips and just nuggets of knowledge and wisdom. Like, I'm sitting here trying to catch up with you and type everything out. And I'm like,
sorry.
wait, I gotta write this one on my book and everything, because it was just so great. Like, these are things that we often don't think about or overlook or take advantage of, or sometimes we just don't know. And I'm so grateful to you to be bringing this information to us, for all of us to be able to benefit. So thank you so much. We truly appreciate you. This will not be the last time we have Rachel, because I swear every time she comes, I learn something new, which means that the learning is not over. And so we will surely be having her back for something. And we will make sure to include her, because I mean, your wealth of knowledge is just so impactful and so inspirational. So you definitely did your balance of inspiring and also providing that intellect today. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
And then lastly, of course, stay connected with us. I am right now pressing the button to all of our social media sites and how you can stay in contact with us. We were recording the session, so we will have this up on our Facebook page as well as our YouTube page by tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening, to make sure that you can go back, rewind, stop at point 14, write that down again, listen to number 12 with your kids and all of those other kind of things. So we are posting this up. Again, all of the resources that we provide for the Center of Economic Empowerment are free to you, because we do not want finances to be a hindrance to you getting the education that you need in order to move forward in financial freedom. So feel free to reach out to us, check out all of our social media sites, email us if you have any further questions. And thank you again. Thank you for joining us. So that being said, good evening, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your night. finish eating the spaghetti and the meatballs and the fried chicken that y'all were talking about earlier, I'm gonna go hook me up a sandwich because Rachel, I'm like you, it's Thursday, so I'll make you a sandwich. But thank you all so much for coming. We look forward to seeing you next time. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.